Hi guys, I just want to say hello to everyone who's new here and of course our family of community for people that have been in here for a while. I did a summit yesterday. It was an amazing summit. It will be promoted on my list in May, but I wanted to just give a little synopsis of what we talked about because we talked for thriving business entrepreneurs in the health and wellness space, how to leverage without burnout. And we talked about what it takes in 2026. So number one, that is a really healthy freebie. This is a freebie of not what you want to teach. It's not your entire framework. The freebie is exactly what your ideal client is Googling at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I think the biggest mistakes coaches make when they put freebies together is they're trying to teach like that entire framework. You want to hit right at their pain. You want to give them a quick win. So that person from your freebie says, wow, this is so amazing. I would love to know what it would be like to work with this person. Now, I see some of the biggest mistakes happening where we don't do the follow-up. One of the questions that was asked is, why is a nurture sequence so important? Now, a nurture sequence is where everything happens because list building is like dating. Your freebie is your first date. That's when somebody says, oh, wow, I want to get to know you. They're giving you their email. They're trusting you. And then each email after is a nurtured date. If you don't do that, they don't know you exist because they're already so busy in their life getting emails, forgetting they even signed up for that. If you don't nurture them, and it's not salesy. I think one of the things that a lot of people think is, oh, well, what if people unsubscribe? Is this going to sound salesy? It's not, because it's going to come straight from your authentic heart and soul. That's the big difference with building a business on integrity and heart and soul, is that it's not ever going to feel salesy. Email number one should not be like your credentials. They can say like where you've attended school if you so desire, but it's a big part. It's your why. It's the reason that you do this. Your second email can be giving them more value, leading them to a blog or maybe a video or a video series, or giving them a checklist, giving them a little more value. Email number three can be like a client study or a personal story. If you don't have clients yet, it can be a personal story. It's going to be a little different than email one because that's more your why. Why are they going to benefit from this freebie? Why should they listen to you as the person coming in to be that guide in this journey? Then email four should be handling objections, the objections that they have before they even get to you. So email five is the invitation. That's the invitation to an application call or a discovery call. Or a low-cost offer. So number one, have the opt-in freebie. Number two is have the nurture sequence. Number three is get on video. I know it can be really overwhelming. I actually put myself often on video challenges where I do 30-day video challenges where I challenge myself to talk for 1 minute to 5 minutes plus a day, and do it on unlisted. I'll upload the video to YouTube, do it unlisted until I feel that it's like perfect. Get comfortable with video, because if not, building a brand in 2026 is about not a faceless brand. It's about your brand. It's about who you are, the myth busting, the truths that you feel, the things that you feel that you have to come down and say, no, this wellness hype is not working. So it's getting on video and having that presence and feeling comfortable to do it. Whether you start with like an Instagram reel or a TikTok, or whether you start on YouTube Shorts and then you move to longer form video, or whether you have a podcast and you're repurposing that, you have to make sure that you are on video so that you're building that visibility. Number three, a website. I don't think you need a $5,000 website when you start your business, but you do need a happy home. And that website, because I've never hired somebody where I didn't go check out a website. Even if it was a referral, I would go and see if they had a Facebook business page. I would see if they had Instagram. I would go to LinkedIn. I would look up to see if they had reviews or testimonials or even case studies on their site. And that happy home, you need to, in 2026, have massive clarity. So on that website, have an area, it's like, have you struggled with these symptoms? And we put that because our ideal client is struggling with the pain. They don't know if it's leaky gut, but they know that they can't get off the toilet. They know that they're bloated. They know that they have rashes. They know that they have headaches. They know that their hair is thinning. They know that they have sleep issues. Like, they know all these things, but they may not know it's leaky gut. So I like having a checklist of symptoms there for any different niche. That could be for autoimmune. That could be for mold. That could be for mindset issues, weight loss, gut issues, whatever you're specializing in, have a list. Make that ebb and flow. You have a freebie above the fold. That means that you're having like your banner, and then you have that above the fold, easy for somebody to access. You can have the freebie at the bottom of the website as well, and you can have a freebie on the blog page in the sidebar. It's a great way to test freebies. Back when I started 15 years ago, it was like you put a freebie out, and even the person who was interviewing me on the summit was like, oh my God, this is so true. You put a freebie out and you get like 400 signups. Right? Those days are just over. Everyone has a freebie. And what's important about having multiple freebies, like Amy Porterfield says, and if you're not watching her on YouTube, you should be. If you're not listening to her podcast, you should be. She is a pioneer and a guru when it comes to marketing. She says you want to swap out your freebies at least every 3 months. So have 3 months with the freebies on your site. And she actually says, it's very interesting, and I've always aligned with this motto. She said you want 9 problems of your client, 9 solutions from them. That could be a PDF, a video, a checklist, a handout, a worksheet, a video series. But you want to have those solutions so that those tiny freebies, helping them to get quick wins, is going to give them what I said in the beginning of this conversation, which is, oh my God, I need to work with this person. The other is programs. You cannot live without having a signature program these days. That signature program is your method. It's your framework. It's how you take people through a client journey. And if you want to add other offers, these should be so somebody simultaneously goes through your offers as a client journey. They graduate into the next offer seamlessly. So if you want to have a low cost offer, which I said to this woman, especially if you're running Facebook ads, that low cost offer can pay for itself on the Facebook ad. So have a low cost offer, something like that's $27, because we are in a trust recession. That's the big thing in 2026 is you've had so many failed promises, and you've had marketing gurus and all these influencers, and you've got to stand out from that. You have to stand out in your brand stories and your micro moments within your life where you are talking about your ups and downs, humanizing yourself, forgetting AI for a second. And that means not having AI write everything for you. We've come out of this time where we just all sound the same. And I even experienced this in my own business. I was like, oh, this AI is so great to help me with my captions, but they just fell flat. There wasn't that human personality. So if you're depending on writing sales emails and your captions and you're doing everything on AI, take a step back. That was one of the things that this woman on the summit asked me. And I was like, just take a step back and evaluate to see if it's actually watered down your message. But getting back to the offers, you have like a $27 offer. So if that person is like jaded, they're so jaded because they've been to so many people. I think of people who like deal with autoimmune or mold or Lyme, or fertility, very sensitive topics, that person can go and be like, oh wow, I just watched this video for $27, this webinar. about this woman talking about her case studies, talking about the people that she's worked with. She was really amazing in this. She was giving me the 3 ways to get pregnant, even when there's like slow sperm. She was talking to me about how to get my husband's sperm moving fast. She was talking to me about egg health. She was like talking about all those different elements of fertility. Wow, what would it be like to work with her? That's what our freebies do. That's what our low-cost offers do. Not everyone needs a mid-cost offer. I do have some clients that have a full offer suite, a low-cost offer, a mid-cost offer, and then a high ticket. And that's where you're doing your high touch. You may have your high ticket in a cohort that you're doing as a group. You might do it as a hybrid where you're doing one-on-one in a group, or you might have it as high touch one-on-one. But not everyone needs to have a mid-cost. It's really how you are building trust to be able to get people to that high-cost offer. Those are pretty much the topics that we talked about. This summit should be coming out in May. I'm actually doing a podcast coming up in the next few weeks about the same topic. And I think some of the things that we're doing that are hurting us are definitely using AI too much. I think that everyone's gone a little like crazy in that spot. And I think it drowns out that human aspect. I think that also we think that we don't have to show up on video to build our brand. And we get away with a lot of just carousels. Not that they don't work, because they still, reels and carousels work hands down. But you really have to test your method. Don't give up. And I would say, my end to this discussion today is start before you're ready. The only way that I built visibility is I started showing up consistently. That meant every day on platforms, on social media. I also at the same time was building offline, getting referrals from doctors. I was partnering with gyms. I was partnering with chiropractors, yoga studios. I was doing all of that so that I could make money while the social media aspect was growing. And then I was starting to get asked to do summits and other partnerships. People were asking me to do collaborations. That's how I started to make the money that I started to make in year 6. It wasn't just that I optimized my freebies with nurture sequences. It wasn't just that I really nailed down my message. And that is key. You can't have a jacked niche and keep going from niche to niche and a message that's all over the place and expect to make it in 2026 or 2027 or 2028. All of these years ahead of us. It's gotten even more important because of how fast social media moves to have a specific message. So start before you're ready. Do it with imperfect action. And remember, it's going to feel uncomfortable. But just like I said, if you're uncomfortable with video, do the video challenge and challenge yourself to make it happen. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure to be with you. If you have any questions, drop them below. And I love you. Bye.